Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Halo Lore, and as you may have already guessed, I'm a new commentator for Reclaimer Reach. My name's John and I'm the newest member of the team, doing the voiceovers in a few videos every now and then. So expect a new variety of voices instead of bosses all the time. Anyway, moving on to today's subject, the UNSC's very own Colonial Militia branch. The Colonial Militia is a branch of the UNSC Defense Force that specializes in the handling of protection for human colonies to provide defense and emergency services like evacuation or rebuilding after a natural disaster.
What the hell are you doing?
Security to the bridge. The Master Chief has gone rampant.
The soldiers who worked in the Colonial Militia could often serve as a paramilitary force, something similar to the UNSC ground forces, but a bit smaller and less organized, at least until the Covenant came. Of course, when the Covenant came into known human space, shit hit the fan. One of the first contacts between the Covenant and the humans, as we all know, was Harvest. This can be further explored in the novel Contact Harvest, and if you haven't already, you should read it. The Colonial Militia on the planet at the time was trained by Captain Ponder, Sergeant Johnson, and Nolan Byrne in response to increased insurrectionist activities as well as a growing separatist sentiment in the Epsilon Indy system. They were some of the first UNSC forces to make contact with the Covenant on the ground. They were tasked with the defense of Harvest, but failed in that aspect, losing half of the militia's 72 members, and instead focused on the evacuation. One notable member from that event is Wallace Jenkins, who proceeded to join the UNSC Marine Corps, serving alongside Gunnery Sergeant Avery Johnson.
Men, keep your eyes downrange, fingers on your triggers, and we all go home in one piece. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
Damn right I am.
But eventually dying on Installation 04 discovered by the Pillar of Autumn after the fall of Reach.
This is it, baby.
The next appearance of the Colonial Militia in the Halo universe we've been introduced to is Reach. As usual, they were stationed there to help look after the civilian population in the event of a minor crisis, though their presence was unannounced. The top brass looked down on the militia established on Reach for the smuggling of unauthorized weapons, explosives, and equipment. But when the Covenant had unknowingly been there for a bit, things turned ugly, and most of the militia were wiped out before the UNSC and Noble Team could even realize the Covenant had invaded. It was at this point that many, if not all, Colonial Militia sections throughout human space had been transferred to enlist in the UNSC to help the war effort. There is no current standing given to us about the Colonial Militia post-Human Covenant War. It is quite possible the Colonial Militia was reformed, but this is merely speculation. Thanks for watching until the end, guys. The support is really appreciated. We do have a few members on board and are trying our best to bring you more videos on a more regular basis. Thanks for sticking around this long. My name's John, and we'll see you again next time. Y'all have a good one.